Hey, everybody. Trevor pressed the go button before I think we were even clear.
Ashley was ready to roll. Passion was on her heart today, and so I need to press play so that we could capture this energy. So, welcome everyone. We are recording this today on December 2nd, and we are kind of officially moving into holiday season, which brings on lots of feels for lots of people. And so, we're going to kind of walk through some of them today and maybe give you some ways to frame things so that you can have a great, successful holiday season.
So, we talk a ton of fitness and nutrition, but today we're going to go a little bit more mindset based and how we're approaching the holiday season and what we're saying about it. Because how we talk about things is how we become things, right?
Absolutely. Right. Everyone's heard the term, right? Fake it until you make it, right? Which is essentially just pretending like you've already done it. And you can do some really cool things to your brain by pretending that you've already successful with things. We talk about this a lot in the fitness world, nutrition world, right? Is like act as
You are
as you want to be, or as you act as if the person act as if you are the person already that you want to
want to
be,
be.
right? And so if you are someone that shows up regularly to the gym, you can ask that question. I'm like, okay, in this situation, when I'm a person that part of my identity is showing up regularly, what would I do? Right? And then you make that decision. So it helps you to just use a different lens to be able to make decisions in, because what got you to where you are today isn't necessarily what's going to get you to where you are, where you want to go, right? And so we need to make a few changes, but change can be scary, but that's okay. It's really about how we frame it. Do we frame change as scary, or do we frame change as a way to improve, right? A way to be more, a way to insert whatever you want.
Yeah. So, a phrase that I love to use is get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I use it a ton in the gym, but it also affect like all of these things. Like making changes and like how we talk to ourselves or how we talk to the people around us can all be changed by being uncomfortable and saying stuff that maybe you wouldn't, like telling people you care about them or you appreciate them and all that stuff that isn't necessarily our nature. But this is like all about the season of like giving. And here we are giving us an opportunity to use some of that and put some of that to test in a season where you can tell people that you're thankful, you're appreciative, you're grateful, but also a way to show up. So we talk a ton about showing up for yourself, but showing up for your community can also be a very important thing that we do this time of year that can totally reframe your whole mindset.
Our great modern day philosopher Pitbull has a great quote that I think I've mentioned before, but every day above ground's a great day. Remember that, right? So 100% agree with like what Ashley's saying. And I think one of the fastest ways to get out of what's called a funk is to find a way to serve, right? Find a way to give back. Gratitude is one of these like master like keys into like our brain. And so maybe a good thing over the holidays is to find more ways to be grateful. Maybe it's starting each day with your family and everyone goes around and, talks about one thing they're grateful for. And it can be stupid stuff, right? And I shouldn't say stupid stuff, but it can be um,
My dad's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
everyday stuff, like the chair I'm sitting in. Right? Like if I didn't have this chair, I'd be sitting on the ground, and it'd probably be better for my posture. But like,
I mean, I like to sit on the ground sometimes.
right? But like, I like sitting in a chair, right? Like this right now. Like I am in Minnesota. Ashley is somewhere Mississippi, Louisiana, like somewhere in the South.
Why do you not
And
know where I live
it's
yet?
all the South is just all like one big state to me, all the way across. And so, like, we're able to have a conversation, and you might be listening to this in your car, on your phone, and like this ability to convey thoughts and ideas, like in the modern age, is like pretty awesome, right? And so, like, I think, but we get too caught up in just the like everyday trying to get things done and yada 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 that we sometimes don't take that moment to step back. So
Here's your opportunity. Okay, so did you want to go more there?
no, I don't really have it. I think
Okay.
the thought was
You
done.
look like you were contemplating really hard. So, another thing that I had talked about, I did a little seminar at the gym here, and we had talked a lot about a big thing this year is about protecting your peace. And saying no to things and like doing less and all of that stuff. And I I get that. And I think there is a safe spot for that. But I think that we are doing it to a detriment to our own health and well being. We know that overall, community is a huge part of health and wellness. And so many people are missing out on that because they're like protecting their peace and they're saying no and all of this stuff. But I think this is definitely a season where you can say yes to going to dinners, yes to having things with friends, or having community at your house and inviting people into your space, and sharing meals and that kind of stuff. So, like, as much as we want to have space to say no to things and have downtime, and I think that's all really important, if you don't have something every week on your calendar where you're engaging with people outside of work and outside of maybe your family, this is a really great opportunity for you to say yes. And if you aren't being invited to things to say yes, this could be a really great calling for you to invite people into your space. And maybe it's not your space, maybe it's just a local coffee place to get a cup of coffee together and have that and community. And great time to reach out to old friends, people you haven't talked to a while or had a meal with, and that kind of stuff. But there's a ton of opportunity, and there's so many things that you could make it super easy to do that. So I think, like, instead of thinking I need to do less or I need to protect my peace, which I do think you do, like, have downtime and have it scheduled, it's also a really great time to also build that community and have those people that you want to, like, celebrate this time with and celebrate next year with too.
Right. I think it's too easy. So I'll give you a framework that I use in trying to make decisions. Typically, if I have two things that I'm trying to make a decision between, I will pick the one that is harder. Because typically the harder decision between the two, or the thing that's going to be physically, mentally, whatever harder, although it will be potentially more painful in the short term, it's many times more valuable in the long term. Right. And so, like, if I pick the apple or the candy bar, right? Like, the candy bar will be probably will provide more happiness in the short term, right? But if I have candy bars a lot, right, it'll probably be more detrimental in the long term. But if I eat an apple, it maybe doesn't have the same sweetness, so it doesn't maybe give me the same, like, quote unquote happiness in the short term. But me eating more apples instead of candy bars will probably be helpful for me in the long term, right? And so not engaging in community is kind of the easy way, right? Like, it's a lot easier to just plop on the couch and flip on Netflix, right? It's a lot easier to just, like, put your head down and not say anything. And so, like, sometimes, probably most of the time, choosing the thing that's a little bit harder will end up bringing you more value, more joy in the long term, because it is harder. And if we think about the things that we've accomplished in our lives, right, the things we remember, the things that were probably fairly difficult, right, they weren't the easy things, because part of value out of something is me having to kind of work for it a little bit. So I 100% agree with the community thing. Is it's too easy to say no to that and be like, oh, I'm going to protect my peace and yada yada yada. It could kind of just be a cop out, right? But then let's not be mad when people don't invite us to stuff because we always say no to everything, right? Like, I mean, there's that piece of it too. If you say no to everything, you're gonna stop getting invited. And so it's maybe saying no to, maybe not saying yes to everything, but, like, I don't think it's an all or nothing type of thing.
This goes back to one of our, like, huge things that we say all the time. This is a great time of year when you're the busiest to use your calendar. Your calendar will show you your priorities. So when you look at your calendar and someone invites you and you notice you don't have anything on your calendar this week, there is no peace to protect. You need to protect your health and your wellness, which would be the community aspect. You can say yes to things, but also the other thing is, hey, I can't do that, but we'd love to have you at dinner at our house. You're going to eat dinner. You can invite people to your space to eat a meal.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've learned recently, lasagna is a super easy meal to cook because you actually don't need to cook the noodles. All of them are designed to go into the pan hard, even the not ones that are the pre-baked. They can go in there. You just put a little more liquid in there, and then you make a salad, and you literally have two dirty dishes, and everyone had a nice meal.
Did you just cook lasagna recently?
No, I learned this. I learned
that
this.
seems
at
like a
this
very
event.
extensive
No,
lasagna explanation.
It was really crazy because I thought I think lasagna is a very complicated meal. It takes a lot of work. It's a lot of steps. I would never serve it for company because, like, it's too much work. And I found out that it didn't need to be. And now I'm mind blown. And I just love that because what a nice, hearty, like, it's cold outside. Trevor's going to tell me I'm soft now, but it's cold outside. Like, what a great meal.
What's the temperature? I mean, just so that, like, anyone listening to this has a little bit of context on what we're defining as cold right now. How cold is it outside right now?
Okay. The bug tells me that is 46 degrees outside. You would wear a jacket at
It's
46 degrees.
it's half that here, but like, you know.
But I think like there's just this nice thing that you can, it doesn't have to be going out to eat. It doesn't have to be something like that. It could be as simple as a meal at your house.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
sometimes those are the best nights.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a really good way to put it. I'm not really up on like all of what the socials are talking about, but is this like a thing right now? Like
Yeah,
protect
it's
your
a thing.
peace.
Protect your peace. And then I'm like, but then you don't get all of those nice, fun holiday things. Like, when's the last time you did a small little gifts with your friends and you did an ornament exchange? Sounds really silly, but I have done, like last year I did an ornament exchange for a little Christmas party thing. And it was so fun because everyone brought something unique and something to it. And like they were fun to see. It was fun to laugh about. Coffee mugs are another one. Like I need another coffee mug like I need a hole in my head. But I take another holiday coffee mug? Absolutely. Particularly one with a pug on it. Not with the bad dog because he is annoying. But the
The
good
bad dog.
dog.
The bad dog.
Rocky is the puppy is bad dog. Do you hear him? Bad
Oh,
doggy.
that's bad dog. Oh.
Yeah, good dog literally is sitting in this recliner over here.
Mm-hmm.
She's little
Being quiet. Being
right
quiet.
there. Yeah, not even barking when the other dog barks. She's like, "What are you barking about?"
So I think a big takeaway from all of this, I mean, there's a couple things. One, I think looking at some of our like master keys, gratitude being one of them, not really trying to be happier, try to be more grateful. And I bet if you're more grateful, you will then happiness is a byproduct of being more grateful, right? I think gratitude, and this time of year is a great time to express that because there are a lot of things that are being, maybe exchanged. And it's also a time of year when people maybe are feeling more grateful. And so it's like not as weird to just send someone a text and be like, hey, just thinking about you today. Super grateful. Don't worry about responding. Right. Like it's just like, that's what this time of year is all about. The second thing that takeaway in listening to kind of what Ashley was saying was this idea of like, what is your self talk, right? What are you saying to yourself during this time? Because like that really matters. And so, can you zoom out as if you're a bystander listening to yourself, right? Talk, and is that self talk helping the situation, right? And so, I'm not here to judge good or bad. I think people just being aware of it gives you your own insight into it. Right. And then the last thing is like, how do you maybe lean in to community during this time rather than trying to kind of lean out? Because this is a time when typically more community stuff happens. Right. And so I don't know, maybe say yes more often. So like,
I mean, I love it though, but I love the idea of saying yes in this time of year. You have all of January to dial things in and turn the dials up and do all of this stuff. And it's cold and you might need to hibernate a little, but like this is the time of year when so many things are happening. I don't think there needs to be any more joy of missing out. I think we need to have a little bit of fear of missing out, and we should be out there and engaging in building all of that stuff. And it's a big missing piece when so much of our world can be digital to be in real time, in real face with the people in our lives. And I think it's
right.
important to have that this time of year.
It's too easy to disengage or not engage, right? We have all of these other things that can quote unquote entertain us. And then we may wonder why we don't feel kind of quote unquote fulfilled or connected or things like that. Right. So, no, I think it was good, very relevant topic. Hopefully, if you had a listen, it gives you a second to just think about what you got going on. So, if you listened all the way to the end, we're grateful for you. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you on the internet.
Bye, everybody.
I gotta press stop.